Are you staring at a harmless family wagon, or a rolling death machine hiding the heart of a monster beneath its innocent bodywork? Get ready, because Detroit once pulled off one of the greatest automotive deceptions in history, secretly stuffing brutal racing engines into massive family station wagons that could humiliate Corvettes, shred tires into smoke, and terrify anyone brave enough to challenge them at a red light. These were not simple grocery getters. They were giant steel predators disguised as suburban family cars, and behind every one of them hides a shocking story filled with corporate greed, engineering disasters, secret betrayals, and forgotten legends that the auto industry would rather erase forever. And trust me, you do not want to miss the final machine on this list because it is so rare and controversial that many people still refuse to believe it ever existed. So subscribe right now and join us as we travel back into the lost golden age of American horsepower before these incredible stories disappear forever. Our journey begins before the bombs of Pearl Harbor changed the world forever, with the breathtaking 1941 Pontiac Custom Torpedo 8 Woody Wagon, a machine born during a time when Detroit depended on master carpenters just as much as engineers. This beautiful wagon weighed nearly 3,500 pounds and carried a body crafted from rich ash and mahogany wood polished to a luxurious mirror finish. It was less of a car and more of a moving piece of handcrafted furniture for wealthy American families, gliding down the road with smooth elegance thanks to its reliable straight-eight engine producing over 100 horsepower. But the very thing that made this wagon beautiful also guaranteed its tragic future. Most people assume these wooden wagons simply rotted away after decades of harsh weather, but the real truth is far darker and far more emotional. During the freezing post-war winters, desperate families struggling to survive often ripped the wooden doors and side panels directly off their own wagons and burned them in fireplaces just to stay alive through the brutal cold nights. Think about that for a moment. Families literally sacrificed rolling works of automotive art for warmth and survival. Because of that heartbreaking reality, surviving original Pontiac Woodies are unbelievably rare today, carefully protected inside climate-controlled collections and valued at well over $100,000 by serious collectors who view them as sacred relics from a vanished America. But as tragic as that story is, it becomes even more brutal when we arrive at the next wagon, because this time the destruction did not come from desperate families or harsh winters. It came directly from corporate deception. By 1958, the legendary Packard Motor Company was collapsing financially and desperately searching for a way to survive. The once proud company that built aircraft engines for World War II fighters was now hanging by a thread, and their final gamble was the 1958 Packard station wagon, a massive 3,800-pound machine powered by a strong 275 horsepower V8 capable of cruising past 100 miles per hour. But hidden beneath the elegant Packard badge was a humiliating secret. It was not truly a Packard at all. It was basically a cheaper Studebaker wearing fake luxury styling and fiberglass fins in a desperate attempt to fool the American public. Buyers instantly recognized the deception and cruelly nicknamed it the Packard Baker. Dealers could barely sell them, and only 159 were ever built before the legendary Packard empire finally collapsed forever. What makes this story even sadder is that customers who wanted real luxury simply walked straight past these wagons and bought Cadillacs instead, leaving Packard to die one humiliating sale at a time. Yet today, those same failed wagons have become priceless collector treasures because almost nobody survived. The shame that once destroyed them has ironically made them legendary. But while Packard was dying, another automotive giant was preparing an even larger catastrophe that would become one of the most expensive failures in American history. Welcome to the disaster known as the 1958 Edsel Bermuda wagon, Ford Motor Company's billion-dollar nightmare. Ford spent the equivalent of billions of modern dollars developing the Edsel brand, believing it would dominate the future of American luxury. The Bermuda wagon weighed over 4,000 pounds, packed a powerful 303 horsepower V8 engine, and featured futuristic push-button controls mounted directly inside the steering wheel. On paper it sounded revolutionary. In reality it became a national joke almost overnight. Critics mocked the bizarre front grille, saying it looked like a giant lemon-sucking mouth, while the fake wood paneling glued to the sides peeled apart under hot summer sunlight.
Representing a fragile era of craftsmanship that simply vanished with time. But the destruction of wooden wagons was nothing compared to the corporate collapse and deception that came next with the downfall of a once mighty name like Packard, which by 1958 was struggling for survival and tried desperately to stay relevant with a heavy station wagon weighing nearly 3,800 pounds and powered by a respectable V8 capable of highway speeds over 100 miles per hour. Yet beneath the badge lay a harsh truth. It wasn't truly a pure Packard at all, but essentially a rebadged Studebaker with cosmetic changes like fiberglass fins added to appear luxurious. A trick the public quickly saw through, mocking it as a fake hybrid creation. And with only a tiny production run of around 159 units, it became one of the most humiliating endings in American automotive history as buyers walked away toward Cadillac and other luxury brands while Packard, once known for building aircraft engines during wartime, collapsed into bankruptcy, and ironically today this failure has turned those few surviving wagons into highly valuable collector pieces because rarity and failure together created legend. Yet even that corporate downfall was mild compared to what Ford attempted with its ambitious and disastrous Edsel project, particularly the 1958 Edsel Bermuda 9-passenger station wagon, a car born from a massive development budget equivalent to billions in today's money, weighing over 4,000 pounds and powered by a strong 300-plus horsepower V8, featuring futuristic push-button controls and bold styling that was meant to define the future but instead became a national joke. Especially its front grille that critics compared to bizarre imagery, while fake wood trim panels that looked cheap and unreliable only made things worse, leading to extremely poor sales with fewer than 800 units produced before Ford quietly shut the project down, turning it into one of the most infamous failures in automotive history. Yet today that same failure makes it incredibly valuable because collectors now prize its rarity and its symbol of corporate miscalculation. Meanwhile, the late 1950s also brought dramatic styling wars, especially the obsession with tail fins and futuristic design, which leads us to the 1957 Dodge Sierra Spectator, a massive nearly 17-foot-long family wagon weighing around 4,000 pounds and powered by a strong V8 capable of reaching impressive speeds for its size, famous for its dramatic rear fins that served no aerodynamic purpose but delivered pure visual aggression, along with a rare rear-facing third-row seat where passengers could literally watch the road disappear behind them in an era before modern safety standards and seatbelts, capturing the carefree optimism of mid-century America when highways were new, fuel was cheap, and safety was barely a concern, making it a true symbol of space-age styling excess and a dream find for collectors hoping to discover one hidden in a forgotten barn. But behind this glamorous era of design, corporate politics were becoming just as aggressive as horsepower wars, and some of the most beautiful wagons were destroyed not by failure, but by their own manufacturers, as seen with the tragic 1958 DeSoto Fireflight station wagon, a powerful and stylish machine built by Chrysler with a large V8 engine producing over 300 horsepower and striking design that easily rivaled luxury competitors. Yet despite its performance and beauty it became a victim of internal corporate competition because Chrysler feared it was stealing sales from Dodge and other divisions, leading executives to intentionally reduce marketing support and quietly kill production. A cold corporate decision that ended a promising vehicle line after only a few hundred units, making it extremely rare today and highly valuable. Not because it succeeded, but because it was deliberately erased. And while some wagons were destroyed by corporate politics, others were destroyed by engineering ambition that pushed too far, like the early 1960s experiment with pillarless hardtop wagons, such as the 1961 Chrysler New Yorker Town and Country, designed to feel like a luxury yacht on wheels by removing the central B-pillar entirely, creating wide open glass surfaces and stunning visual appeal. But this decision severely weakened structural integrity, causing the body to flex violently over bumps, doors to misalign, windows to leak during rain, and overall durability to suffer dramatically, turning luxury into discomfort and making restoration today extremely difficult due to structural warping and rare replacement parts. General Motors made a similar mistake with the 1958 Buick Caballero, another pillarless wagon designed for suburban luxury buyers, powered by a strong V8 and covered in chrome and elegance, but without structural support the body twisted under stress so badly that doors could jam shut on uneven ground and windows could crack under pressure, leading to its quick cancellation and long-term rarity, proving that beauty without engineering strength often leads to failure. Yet as the 1960s progressed, American families shifted priorities away from styling and toward raw power, giving rise to the sleeper wagon era, where ordinary-looking family cars secretly hid monstrous engines, such as the 1969 Dodge Coronet 440 wagon, which many mistakenly thought referred to engine size but actually described trim level, though. Buyers could secretly order big block V8s that transformed it into a stealth drag racer capable of surprising unsuspecting sports cars at stoplights, blending family practicality with hidden street dominance. Plymouth took this concept even further with the 1970 Plymouth Sport Suburban powered by a massive 440 engine producing serious horsepower, with some modified versions later upgraded by owners into extreme street machines.